of shadows of the forgotten names. Names have power. As names have power, words have power. Words light fires in the minds of men. Words can wring tears from the hardest hearts. Hey, my name is Leanna Farrell, and for the duration of this video, I'm going to be answering question number 1. How can language be used to empower us? What would you say gives us power? Money, fame, world domination. Since the cognitive revolution, thousands of years ago, humans have gained nothing but power. Our magnum opus? Language. Language is the sole reason we are gathered here today. The only way that I can communicate my findings to you is the click of. It's even the reason humans got to the top of the food chain in such an exponential rate. Now, with 7,193 different languages across the world, what other ways could we use to communicate empowerment to our fellow humans? As I'm talking to you right now, you are being empowered. That is the power of knowledge, the influence. A great example of this would be a canonization technique of Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. His words have moved thousands to act peacefully against the discrimination of Black people. Peaceful resistance is hard to invoke in people, especially towards their abusers. But with his knowledge of the world, Martin Luther King Jr. managed this and so much more with a speech, paving the path for acceptance even still today. Power without love is abuse, and love without power is sentimental and anemic. Martin Luther King Jr. decided to flaunt his words in a way that filled thousands of people in the future. He used them to change the hearts of anyone that heard, and heal their resentment and replace it with resilience to forgive but not forget. There's nothing more inspiriting than gaining the edge over somebody in a fight. I have reason to believe that this is why debate was created. It's not? Similar to Martin Luther King Jr., knowledge is power. And that quote's weight increases when considering debate. James Farmer from the Great Debaters said nearly 30 years before Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech was given, unquestionably took it to heart. When he won against Harvard with not just knowledge, but the moral high ground, empowering not just him and his teammates, but the whole Black person community. Empowerment comes most commonly in the form I've mentioned earlier, straightforward motivation, but arguably my favorite form is poems, with twists, double meanings, and open-ended questions. Pretty Ugly by Abdullah Suwaid is one that intrigued me the most over the semester. I sense that she perfectly encapsulates how it feels to flip-flop between being above the clouds to falling 6 feet under. Her use of palindromes makes me feel seen, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Poems have touched millions, from Edgar Allan Poe to some slam poetry performed in a cafe with a 10-person capacity. Someone has related to either. That same passion I see in the Dead Poets Society. Mr. Keating's students were empowered by his love for poetry and his way with words. As he told them, seize the day, make your life extraordinary. Sucking the marrow out of life doesn't mean choking on the bone. So when they grew the confidence to write a verse themselves, they felt empowered by their own words, and acted on that empowerment. When all is said and done, language is a weapon. Words have power over the world. Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech pushed the Black Lives Matter movement to what it is today. James Farmer challenged public segregation through debating with his own personal experience and knowledge. Abdullah Suwaid made a safe space where beauty is not what others think of you, but what you think of yourself. Mr. Keating changed the way his students believed in the world, from what they couldn't do to what they could. Commonly, all of these people turn their words into a fuel for others to feel less small. So as they say, the pen is mightier than the sword.